谁有地盘？我的这个你看，you go and you were saying. She told you it's yeah, she told me who she liked. No, you told me that.
People, please take their seats. Members of the governing board, Director General, principals, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the graduation ceremony for the class of 1993. J'aimerais tout particulièrement souhaiter le bienvenue à mon nouveau collègue, M. Herbillon. M. Herbillon va remplacer M. Fischer en septembre. Last year, I broke the traditional program at this point to address a few words to the graduating class. I'd like to do the same this year. Class of 1993, I've thought quite a bit about what I want to say to you. I decided to start with a question. Class 1993, do you exist? It's a question which I know some of you have also posed over the last few weeks. It's easy to see that the so-called class is composed of different groups. Those who've been through the fire of the IB examinations, those who followed the complicated trail of the United States University admissions, et ceux qui travaillent toujours en attendant de passer les examens de maturité. We can also see many other groups. Those of you who were here when we introduced the middle school, perhaps didn't like it. Those who have only just arrived. Those who have worked together in particular activities, whether it was in the theatre, choir, basketball, skiing, scout troops, to name but a few. There are also those of you who wondered a little bit what this international school was all about, because we weren't quite like something else you thought we should be like. Well, what will I remember of the class of 1993? Amongst my memories will be a certain performance of Malvolio and As You Like It. I'll remember a student who planned and carried out the move of all the books from the old to the new library. Two students who carried out a superb survey and heightened the awareness of many students for World AIDS Day. The individuals who stimulated the ECHO group into activity. A harp recital. I'll also remember a number of you who have had difficulties that needed support at certain times when you've been with us. What I will remember is a group of individuals surrounded by other individuals. So, does the year exist? Certainly not as a distinct group set apart by a single set of characteristics which have been imprinted on each one of you. Thank goodness. No, class of 1993, you exist as a group or distinct because of the variety of individuals amongst you and because of the variety of links you have between yourselves and outside of your group. This is perhaps something which you will only really value as you move out to continue your studies and establish new links. Class 1993, if I can give you a message, it's this. Don't be concerned with your lack of homogeneity, but celebrate your diversity. Class of 1993, you exist as a wonderful medley. Good luck in your futures.
Graduates, ladies and gentlemen, graduation is an occasion to take what in industry is called a helicopter view. We get into an imaginary helicopter, take off, and soar upwards until all those classes, the assignments, the tests and the grades are no longer visible. We are much too high even to identify the individual teachers and the close friends that you've made here. The trips you went on, the concerts you performed in, the parts you played, the matches you won, the matches you lost, they have all become a blur. But replacing the details, we see instead an impression of the International School of Geneva. We see what your education here adds up to. We begin to see a clear image of what this school stands for. And that, in my opinion, is the real test of your experience. What are those thousands, those tens of thousands of different experiences added up to? How have you been changed? What will you take away from here that will stay with you for the rest of your life? Graduation is an occasion to search for the identity of this school and to ask how relevant it's been during your time here. And in fact, we do not have to look further than the Foundation's Charter. And that famous paragraph 4 of Article 4, which reads, l'activité de l'école dans tous les domaines, et notamment dans celui de la pédagogie, aura pour fondement les principes de l'égalité et de la solidarité entre les peuples et de l'égale valeur de chaque être humain, sans distinction de nationalité, de race, de sexe, de langue ou de religion. That statement is a belief, a creed, and there could not be a better place to practice it than a school with more than 2,750 students on its 3 campuses, 99 different nationalities, speaking 71 different mother tongues. I only have to look around me this afternoon to see paragraph 4 of Article 4 in operation. You have been living it for all the years that you've been in this school. The activity of the school in all fields, and especially in the field of pedagogy, shall be based on the principles of equality and solidarity among all people, and of the equal value of all human beings, without any distinction of nationality, race, sex, language, or religion. Last weekend, the Foundation's board met to talk, amongst other things, about ways in which we might measure the success of this school. This is neither the time nor the place to report on that debate, except to say that there was general agreement that some of the success cannot be measured until later in life, long after the person has left school. I do not have to tell the adults here this afternoon how easy it is to link what we are today to what we did, or perhaps what we didn't do at school 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. So let me ask the graduates, how much of that creed in our charter will you believe in as you get older and wiser, and all kinds of other experiences begin to crowd in to shape your personalities, without any distinction of nationality, race, sex, language, or religion? Let me set you a small, final test at the international school. Imagine, for example, that you get to college and find you're sharing a room with someone of extreme religious values and views, quite different to yours. That person observes certain rituals that are not yours, eats different foods, or for long periods does not eat any food at all, reads different books, and is thoroughly uncomfortable and unsettling to be with. Will your education at the international school help you then? Imagine now you've left college and you've just got your first job. A young man with degrees and diplomas and a promising future ahead of you. Your first boss is a woman. Imagine you gaze into a crystal ball and you see in the future the fact that every different boss you'll ever have up to the time of your retirement is going to be a woman. Will your education at the international school help you then? Imagine you bought your first house in a rather smart area of town, with a pleasant open outlook at the back. And one day, a group of gypsies, travellers, moves in, noisy, dirty, not easy to classify in terms of nationality, race, language, or religion. The sort of nuisance that Hitler spotted early on in his career and did his best to clean up, to cleanse. He failed, and you've got them at your back door. Will your education at the international school help you then? Je pourrais également aborder le problème des langues dans une école internationale qui peuvent amener des malentendus entre des peuples. Je laisse le soin à M. Fischer de vous en parler. Well, I suspect there are a few people here today who would feel entirely comfortable with those three little scenarios, but I invented them to make the point that you're about to leave the sheltered environment of this school, where, frankly, not a great deal can go wrong. Mistakes are easily put right, and most people have forgotten tomorrow what it was you said today. Your adult life will be tougher, more uncomfortable, and more unforgiving. You will make many mistakes, and some of them will be difficult to put right afterwards. But I hope that wherever you go, and whatever you do, a small flame lit in this school will continue to burn in you for the rest of your life. It will not always give a clear light, and from time to time it will waver and become very dim, and it will need constant care and attention to keep it alive. But I hope it will light up paragraph 4 of Article 4 of our Charter, which is at the heart of international education. And now it gives me great pleasure to introduce our guest speakers. Mr. Joseph Fischer joined the staff at La Châtaigneraie in 1972 to teach mathematics, after 11 years working in West Africa. In 1978, he moved to this campus, and a year later, became principal of the secondary Francophone program. During his time as principal, he has served 8 director generals. The school has reason to be grateful for his calm, steady presence during a period that was sometimes neither calm nor steady. Monsieur Fischer.
Madame la Présidente, Monsieur le Directeur Général, Mesdames, Messieurs, chers élèves. Maybe your parents have heard at home, as I have, Pink Floyd singing, "Hey teacher, leave us kids alone, we don't need education." That is concretely one statement about the value of education. Another one I just got on a cartoon from a Christian Science monitor. It shows the president of a US university speaking at a graduation ceremony like ours. He says, "Dear graduates, be of good cheer. If education costs this much, it must be worth something." Where is the truth? Is education of some value for you, youngsters? Or do you just need more education?
A very long established tradition has been that the graduating class has chosen the person to read the list of graduates. There's also been a tradition that when a teacher retires from the school, the students have chosen that teacher. This year the class was faced with something of a dilemma. We have 3 teachers for whom this will be their last graduation before their retirement. The problem has been solved by asking the 3 teachers concerned to read part of the list. It's going to be a little bit more complicated than usual. I will therefore start by asking Mr. Estroff to start with the first group. Madam Bonham will then take over from him. And then Monsieur Teddy. Mr. Scott.
First in the group who's been with us for 1 year is Laura L. Ainey. Beg your pardon, that was a double vision on my part as a result of sitting in that sun for so long. It is not the name I read out, it is Hélène Catherine Bolas. Rosa Dragano Asoro. Benoit Ducrot. Maria Fitzjames Stewart. Juanita Hallam. Catherine Jean-Pierre. Anglet Javet. Cara Melo. Cecily Rudd. Matthew Smith. Brian Spence. Marianne Tessier. Dominic Unger. Yang Wang. Three names that follow have been with us for 1.5 years. Laura L. Ainey. Paul Gituli. Gretchen Murray. And Prashant Swallow.
On passait 2 années à l'école. Ginette Berton. Lisa Battin. Julien de Boissière. Carole Dubek. Anna Evans. Edwin Hill. Anna Ivanan. Nicolas Demas. Anne-Catherine Jackman. Bastien Belmont. Chiara Martinelli. Martha Matisse. Chantal Mita. Radit Narayana. Denis Rasby. Daniel Cheval. Emma Hellman. Béthéa Bélan. On passait 2 ans et demi à l'école. René Grande. Alexandre Castillet. Gattari. Danine Ascar. Victoria Audra. Jérôme Ossy. Lisa
Les élèves suivants ont passé 3 ans à l'école. Gaza Al-Barghouti, Jalal Babani, Nadia Bali, Al-Dardi, Dominique Buda, Jean-Philippe Cartaillé, John Edra, Achille Barra, Pacha Hanover, Christopher Johnson, Michael Lucier, Veronica Maxumi, Marianne Merck, Daniel Padinski, Manmeet Singh, Marianne Jartoraï, John Chapel, Laetitia Tardiva, Natasha von der Geer, Kevin Wilson, Guylaine Vittet. Les élèves ont passé 3 ans et demi à l'école. Yasmine Gorborga, Adri Rajagopalan, et Ara Vartanian. Boissière, Dean Becker, Cecilia Veranderen, Mark Chatillard, Ryan Schwab, Natalia Londora, Nicholas Nell, Dan Millet, Madeleine Nassaby, Julia Steele, Mark Gilbert, Olivier Jackman, Daniel Witzman.
On passe les 5 ans à l'école, Albert Alphardi, Céline Hazard, Louis Albert, Anna Sénécal, Claudio Valdez. Saint-Henri, Nil Aria, Eric Cody, Michel Vander.
On passait 6 ans à l'école. Alan Anderson. Alicia Chen. Erika Adegawa. Daro Atanaka. Olivier Jackman. Miliana Makundi. Olivia Monet. Valérie Montaigu. Robert Filiero. Ruth Achimal, Gérard Chevilla. On passe 6 ans et demi à l'école. Il arrive Jenny. Yumiko Nakagima. Saint-Charles Stoikov. Carniel. David Armbach. Rachel Sanchez Lopez. Shisha Sandé. Jackie Sanyari. Wouter van der Leyen. Years. Antoine Valado. David Capitone. Marie-Fleur Potier. And Barbara Smith. Eight and a half years, Sarah Larson. 9 years, Stefan Bokurin. 'Thomas Calhoun. 9 jaar Ramalui. 13 ans à l'école. Et Lara Briquederie. Anita Elsma. Myriam Fischer. Denis Ramasondran. On passait 14 ans à l'école. Yasmine Amayel. Tony Cali. Et Nika Waywood. Years at school, Christy Wise. 16 years, Nicolas Florian. 1.
We now come to the presentation of the awards. It starts with the class 13 merit list. The merit list is Lily Jennings. Lydia Monet. Class 12 anthropology. As you know, the exams have been very late this year. We just haven't got all the grades in, so I'm going to extend a warm invitation to you all to come to the final assembly next Wednesday.
Tout le monde n'est pas là, en particulier parce que nous avons des élèves de terminale bac français qui sont en train de passer des examens maintenant. Antoine Balladeau. Fabrice Calam.
Every year, I ask teachers to propose names for the honour roll. This year, a number of teachers have come up to me and said, I don't expect anyone has proposed the student's name, because they've always been so low profile, they've always acted with such great modesty. But I think they should be on the honour roll, because for me, this student is someone who, as the first criterion for the honour roll states, has always lived up to the ideals of the school. The second criterion has made out an outstanding contribution to the school. And this student has done just that, through participation and quiet leadership in a range of activities. Soccer, SUN, cross-age tutoring, assistant tutor, and most appropriately, and this will give it away, an organisation of others in the eco and human rights groups. It gives me great pleasure to announce the name of Imara Breckenridge. I would now like to ask Olivier Jackman to speak on behalf of the students. Olivier.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would firstly like to welcome you all to this graduation ceremony of the class of '93. I am indeed very honored to be able to speak on behalf of the graduating students. Yet, it is very painful to think that this is the last time this class will ever be together. I cannot continue this speech without thanking all the people who voted for me. And even those who didn't vote for me, because anyway, I have their address and phone number, in order to sue them in case of a moral or physical assault. Now, I was planning to do this speech with a girl who's been in this school for 16 years, and whose name I should not reveal. We know it's Valerie what. Mais malheureusement, chaque fois que je téléphonais chez elle était en train de se laver les cheveux. Ou de réparer son vélo. Voilà, carrément dans son bain. Puis même au téléphone. En ville ou à l'étranger. So, I went to see Mr. Jennings. And I asked him what she could be. He said she was Hannah. So I went to see Hannah. Who told me Valerie was in the music. Eventually, I went to the class of 93 and I asked them. They replied unanimously, they are with us. Therefore, in the name of the class of 93, we would like to give a big round of applause to Valerie Roy. Beaucoup de gens me demandent qu'est-ce que l'Ecolint. Ils sont difficiles, nous direz-vous, et vous n'avez pas tort. Est-ce seulement professeurs, élèves, chaises, tapis, crayons, cafétéria? Peut-être pas. Mais ces éléments constituent le noyau central de l'école, ceux qui permettront d'établir un concept d'une importance capitale, le contact humain. Ceux qui auront fréquenté l'école emporteront avec eux des qualités indéniables. La tolérance, l'éducation, la maturité et une impression de se sentir à l'écoute du monde. Attending the school has undoubtedly been an invaluable experience for everybody. We've had the opportunity to meet people from all over the world and a chance to understand the different cultures and languages from these various countries. As we know, languages are essential for communication. This is directement au concept du bilingualism. With the ELP and the FLP, we have a perfect example of bilingualism. But what is bilingualism exactly? Est-ce seulement parler et comprendre deux langues? In our case, French et anglais? I think it is more complex than that. The advantages are obvious. One can converse in both Sorry, I'll do that again. One can converse in both languages and be understood in a great number of countries. However, sometimes the two languages overlap, giving the most absurd statements such as the tuition culture is extraordinary. Another special case is direct literal translation. In French, one would say, j'ai un trou de mémoire. In English, this would turn out to be, I've got a memory hole. This is, of course, taking it to the extreme, but it's nevertheless very revealing as to how bilingualism can turn a bright student into an ultimate 100% 24-carat female. So, in essence, what he or she actually needs is a plurality of cultures. Nous avons été enrichis d'une manière ou d'une autre par la différence de culture dans notre école. Et cela nous servira tant dans notre vie professionnelle que dans notre vie privée. Now, coming back to the question, what is Ecolint? Several exceptions arise. Certains me diraient que l'auberge de la Poste fait partie du culte d'Ecolint. Moi, personnellement, je me garderai de présenter de telles affirmations, quoique la bière y est bonne, à ce qu'on m'a dit, et l'accueil chaleureux. Je voudrais d'ailleurs saluer Jésus, pour engager ce blé, et Tony au passage. Ce n'est pas ce que vous croyez. Jésus, c'est le tenancier du café en face de l'école. Il fait partie du patrimoine des Ecolintiens. Ah, excusez-moi, je viens de recevoir une dépêche du Conseil supérieur de l'audiovisuel. J'en ai fait oublier de dire quelque chose. Comme me dirait Giscard, il a vu l'alcool, les enfants pour eux sont tués. Vous comprenez, c'est comme le Christ, qui peut sauver une conversion encore. The definition of Ecolint does not confine itself just to that. Ecolint is also the smell of a minibus on a February morning. The whiff of French fries in an overcrowded cafeteria. Well, we don't call it frequent. The delicate fragrance of a raclette at the annual students' fair. The countdown to the bell in every lesson. The holidays which interfere with our enjoyment of school. Sitting on a hard seat for the amphitheater, listening to the speaker's speeches through the loudspeaker. And finally, the stress we feel no more as we fly away to distant shores. Today, we are all united in harmony. Tomorrow, some of us will go to the UK, some will stay in France, while others will fly away to the USA. Nous serons bientôt tous séparés, de manière ordinaire. C'est une pensée triste qui accentue encore plus l'importance de ce genre de promotion. As we know, the majority of the 12th graders pursue their studies in the United States. There is a student in the 12th graders who particularly like to congratulate for his outstanding performances this year. His name is Sasha Stoikov, who succeeded in entering MIT. Other people have time at running school spirit, such as the senior ship day. But we all know that if those zeros had been counted, you guys wouldn't be here today. Lucky for you guys, Benjamin didn't count them. Twelfth grade is also the year when we first discovered the existence of double, triple, and even quadruple threes. But fortunately, the senior lounge was there to help pass the time. In 12th graders, we could discover the dangers of the Geneva nightlife, as one of their friends endured a rather fiery Friday night. If you don't believe me, ask him to show you his war wound. I'm sure he'll probably stand up, turn around, and do so. The 12th graders also had the chance to enjoy the different trips with their tutor groups. While Madame Amayed, Mrs. Jorgensen, Mr. Thomas, and Mr. Jackman risked their lives rafting, Mr. Smith preferred a more relaxing trip to Hollywood. The students would therefore like to thank these teachers not only for the memorable day, but also for the encouragement and support as students. As you most probably know, 3 secondary teachers will be leaving us this year. Madame Bonhomme, Mr. Diddy, and Mr. Estrop. And I know that all the students who have had the opportunity, like myself, to work with these teachers would like to thank them for their attention, patience, and consent. Please join me in wishing them a happy future. There is also one other person who, unfortunately, is not here with us today, but whom especially the IB candidates would like to thank for his efforts, patience, and advice. I'm of course referring to Mr. Shade, whom we all hope will make a quick recovery from his operation. To conclude on a personal note, although all the parents will identify themselves with this message, I would like to thank my parents for all their care and support during the 6 years I spent at Ecolint. Maman, je te jure, je ne te plus jamais les pieds sur la table. J'essaierai de ne pas rentrer trop tard ce soir, ou peut-être trop tôt demain matin. Enfin, merci à vous tous, parents, professeurs, amis, pour tout ce que vous apportez sur le plan humain.
The graduation ceremony is one of tradition, one which has developed over the years. The class of '93 has asked that they can introduce something new at this point. And I'm pleased to ask Scott McDermott to explain what we hope will become part of future ceremonies. Scott. Thank you, Mr. Douglas. I recently heard someone say that people don't know how to give anymore. They think that when they give, it will leave them with less. They will be empty. So they always give to get. I'll scratch your back if you scratch mine. She said that kind of giving is really trading. To give from the heart by whatever means necessary, that is true giving. It leaves you very fulfilled. Class of 1993, the revolt has decided to leave the gift to the school. This is not a trade. There is no way we can trade for what we've been given here. It is meant to be a gift of thanks. With the support of Mr. Douglas, who underwrote the project, and the PTA, a small group of students called the Graduation Committee undertook the sale of Ecolint mugs and raised just over 1,000 Swiss francs on behalf of this class. Would the Graduation Committee please stand up and identify yourselves for thanks for the work you've done. The various departments and the student council were asked to provide suggestions for a possible gift, and another vote was taken. A little bit of confusion followed as it became clear that the mixer board for the student council, which was the winner, was not needed. The audiovisual department already owns one and is willing to make it available to the students. Therefore, our check goes to the history department to replace worn out and in some cases outdated historical maps. Would Mr. Thomas please come to the podium? On behalf of the class of 1993, I present you with this check for 1,086 francs and 50 cents. In closing, I would like to say that this place is very special. Most of us know that already. Some will realize it very soon. And there are those who may take years to acknowledge the value of their Ecolint experience. This school and environment has given us all, well, a lot. I would be most proud to be the first of a big tradition of a long tradition of class representatives who will stand at this podium to offer the school a gift of thanks. I challenge each and every one of you to incorporate the spirit of giving, whatever and whenever it is needed into your lives. Thank you. It's my great pleasure to hand over to the school orchestra, who will be playing a piece which has been composed by one of the graduating class, Taro Hatanaka. The school orchestra.